Listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. A rainy day here in Kansas City. I guess that's all I need to say, right? It's kind of a rainy place. Trying to get my navigation here set. Satan trying to throw me a couple curveballs. But it really doesn't matter. I think it's going to work out okay. As far as shitty. I'm the shitty on the shitty scale. It'll be okay. But that's on the shitty scale of shitty. Well, it's the way you're all credited. Planet wants a bit, then it'll get it. That's the way the world works in reality. Well, you're part of a large criminal entity, all of you. And
head south toward Lenexa Drive.
That criminal entity is spanning the entire planet. So God has to remove that entity. And when God thinks it isn't like, well, I got to remove this because Larry's got to get to some sort of life before he passes on. God doesn't think that way. God says, because if God does that, then he's not going to get rid of that entity as fast as he can. So again, God's calculating everything you're doing, everything I'm doing, everything everybody else is doing. God is calculating what brings about the fastest destruction of the planet. That's where it is right now. I may have been there for decades, if not ages. So again, whatever it is. Now, God may look like God's what is that called? Diverging, I guess, from his plan, but he's not. He's sending strong delusion so that you would believe a lie. So again, Trump's all pontificating about how everything's corrupt, but yet he was the same corruption. So it really doesn't matter who wins anything, from the lowest office in the school, the school, what do they call it? The school council or whatever it is, the student council, all the way up to the president. All shit, all of it. It's all criminal enterprise. Period. It doesn't reveal some skewed thought process that I'm engaged in. It's reality. Just because you don't want to be in reality doesn't mean everybody has to worship whatever it is you're going to worship for the day or for the year or for your lifetime, all of you. Because it's definitely not God. So again, that is what it is. I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going to go because I haven't gone down this highway for a while. So my friend sent me a photo from from New York, and I imagine that's where she is. And I don't think she cared for me saying, be careful. It's probably one of the worst places a woman that's on the street could possibly be. Now, again, their crime statistics are, when you go per capita, they're not as bad as a lot of other cities, but it is up there. So again, when you look at per capita, it's based upon the population, and that would be the chances of that crime visiting you based upon that per capita. Because if it's 1 in 100,000, or let me say 10 in 100,000, or was it 1 in? Would it be 1 in 10? No, it'd be 1 in 1,000 or something. So that's generally how it works. 1 in 1,000 and 10 in 100,000 are the same, I think. So again, that's kind of the skewing they use to, because Republicans have smaller places to live. A lot of them aren't any safer, and some are more dangerous. So again, it's kind of strange. I'm trying to look for a dehumidifier, and of course today's raining and tomorrow's not, and it's going to rain for like 2 weeks or something. So, but I'm going to get it over with and get it. It's just it got way too humid in my room, and it's been humid, but livable. So I didn't bother to do anything. And it isn't comfort; it's actually health. A lot of people don't know that. 100%. Boy, they were fighting me this morning. I had to break through to get out on the road. Last thing they want me to do is get something that's good for my health. And that's what it's based on. They'll tell you all sorts of lies, but anything that's healthy and well, they're not testing me in reference to it. They're completely and utterly blocking it, including hiring operators and business owners. So there are Trump defenses. They already picked on one, I think. The lawyer said something about the context of all of it. That's one of it, to paint a false picture of what actually happened. And just, I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to pick up on the other parts. And of course, the Nazi faithful will believe exactly what he says. May come up with a few excuses on their own. Well, just having the documents rarely end up in prosecution. But that wasn't where. Oh, did I miss my turn? No, I'm going right. So, but that's not where Trump was. It was way past that. I mean, like I said, the first time they said something, you should have just brought people in to get rid of it. Or the first time you discover something. Because in reality, he may have discovered it before they said anything. And you may have sent it hints. I don't know. Sometimes the government will send you hints. Like the system they use for corruption, they can use for wellness. So they can send you hints like, what about those documents? In whatever way they do it, and then Trump and his lawyers go, "Hey, we got documents, right?" So, and of course, everybody started looking around, I think, for stuff that they may have had once, that happened to Trump. And it isn't necessarily because they're going to go to prison or whatever. They're just trying to say, hey, maybe I messed up, and they went and looked, and they found stuff, but nobody decided they would block it. And that's really, like I tried to say before, that's the delineation. Don't make any type of effort outside of having the documents to thwart the return of the documents. I definitely was on that wavelength when I was leaving the government. I don't want anything. I don't want to have anything in my possession except for, my personal records, and that was about it. Well, because I was in what they call it, court security, and I did some judicial security. So there's a lot of stuff that I had to destroy that didn't lead to anything or led to something, and I've no longer had a need to have it. Right. No, I didn't leave the government with all the deep state people information. I said bye. That's it. I'm no longer securing anything. And they all got taken, believe me. As soon as I stopped securing that district, the deep state took over. I mean, it was already taking over, but at that point, that was it. They put all the deep state inductees into positions because they knew they had that psychology. They'd do anything for money. 100%. Nobody was ever secure after that. Mm-hmm. They just take one out whenever they want to take one out. They reward everybody else. I mean, it's just like, I mean, you know how billionaires and millionaires are. You know how they act. How these big FBI agents are. They're just squirrel and corrupt and criminal. That's the decision making in the government. Trump's one of them. So, live by the sword, die by the sword. 100%. They saw me burning anyway. A big burn barrel at Jim's house. They had a house up on the hill that overlooked us. And one day they put a vehicle at the front of the driveway with the lights on all day, and Jim's wife went wacko over it. Jim's like, no, don't worry about it, ignore it. See, Jim, that's how Jim succeeded. But that's a different posture, right? If Jim had been in the federal government, they probably killed him. 100%. I agree. Jim Spicer, that is. Well, he was too big. He already had his property and everything when they launched the big takeover of the federal, state, and locals. Right. The New World Order. I don't know if Bush was all that much part of it. He was more like the figurehead. Right. Because, I think if Bush knew the truth and Cheney knew the truth, they'd be like, what? They're probably still like, what? I think they found out. And they're killing their best people. Like, they know how it works. You build the people up. If somebody falls, you build them up because they're worth building them up. Right. It's the reverse now. They only want the people there to tear people down. And they build those people up, but there's really nothing to build up. It was a criminal enterprise. In other words, the government that did this to me and the private sector people, I'm owed millions. They should have been in prison for 10 years at a minimum. Serious, violent criminal conspiracies. Right. I mean, so again, there's nothing there to my any type of slippage in my life. And he admitted to a crime. No, see, that's more their bullshit. Squirrels. Safer. I don't know, but when I saw that, I was like, what? It was like in New Mexico. Like, they got flatbeds and tow trucks with like red and blue lights. I'm like, what is that? Pennsylvania would never allow something like that. A lot of states up north would. Maybe they do now. I don't know. But that's, again, as far as the self-respect and engaging in self-respecting activity, that's going on a lot of law enforcement anyway. I mean, that kind of, I wouldn't say rigid, but, that there's a line. So apparently Menards had some sort of sale. I don't know if it works because a lot of it's rebate. So you have like a rebate. You buy this from the store, and I'm just not going to think too hard about it. They're all kind of within $50 of one another. Maybe one's like $60 more, but it's much better. I'm seeing a lot more personalized plates, and I might get one myself. I'm thinking of it, but and I've had one before, but I gotta wonder if it's related to some sort of criminal activity. So I'm not telling you to pull people over with personalized plates because I'll be one of them. But it just doesn't look right. I've seen an uptick in criminal spycraft operations and an uptick of personalized plates. You didn't have this many personalized plates like 6 months ago. No way. And it appears they're using the red license plate. Is that the one that comes personalized? I thought it was this blue with the seal, part of the seal. So there's a lot of red with white letter personalized license plates moving about. That might be a sign for some sort of criminal organized crime entity. Remember the vehicle that looked like a cop vehicle, but it was like, I think it was a security guy or something. Well, at least it looked like it, but it didn't have any. I didn't think it didn't have anything on the side, but it looked like it had a government plate. It almost looked like it had a government plate, right? But it had a personalized. It was red with white letters. They're all trying to project into my mind. Their execution day. Devils. There's another one. Blue vehicle. I guess it doesn't matter. It's like everywhere, right? So I mean, it's on. It could be on other plates, but the other plates, that may be the difference. The other plates that actually are issued might actually be, they want to focus them on the people that don't know anything about it and aren't part of it. So to make sure they don't get one of the issued plates, they put a personalized plate on, so that they don't become a target of somebody who might go nuts. Right. And then they tell each other, get a red personalized plate with white letters, and they all get it. And that's the crew or whatever. Here's Lowe's. There's Lowe's. And a Popeyes. So yeah, the whole thing where that kid didn't get taken by a shark is bizarre because everything points to a shark. Everything's pointing to a shark. And the behavior of that shark is exactly what those two types of sharks engage in, the tiger shark and the bull shark. They say actually the great white will kill you or harm you, but it doesn't linger around to feast or devour you. The bull shark isn't as bad as the tiger shark, but what it does do is it just annihilates the enemy. And he may have been bumped by it. That may have what freaked him out. They bump you first with their nose. They go poof. And then that's what may have happened to freak him out. And then he swam away and got attacked for real. So they're like spending their time saying, no, this didn't happen that way. He just bumped his head. And I don't know. It may be it could be something being paid by the Bahamas so that they don't lose tourism, because that's the big tourism, the shark divers and all that. But everybody knows you don't dive at night. You not go in that water at night. Now, there was in Egypt a tiger shark attack in the daytime. So again, that's only partially safe, right? Because the sharks eat at night and they hunt at night, so they have a different mindset. Just like your wife, you know. 1 minute, yeah, everything's working, and then all of a sudden, she's beating you with a stick. And this day and age, boy, they're murdering a lot of men, aren't they? Vice versa, too. It's probably more men killing their wives. Why did they show me? Great, thanks, Menards. Show me order pickup. It's got a lane. You just drive through. It's real nice. I wonder why there's a Menards here. Because they're dedicated to service and quality. Oh, Al. Oh, you sent me. Oh, them. Okay. If they drive by, they see the out sign. Out. Boy, it's humid today. It's probably been humid. I just didn't notice it. All right. I got to get in here and get whatever it is I got to get and get out of here. But the thing is, being homeless in New York at this time of year is probably better than being homeless in Texas and Georgia at this time of the year. A lot cooler. All right, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.